Hello and welcome to Primetime Watchmaking in the News, as we will cover the main newsworthy info of May 2016. And let's start immediately with this month's summary, as we have quite a few product launches to talk about. Yes, May was productive and seductive. MB&F, Richard Mille, Zenith, Panerai and Vacheron among others. We'll have some business news with a rather big name changing hands and the impact it represents for the industry. Swiss exports figures still going down, but not in every category. So what does it mean? Yet another example of an original but a bit controversial brand launch, and some news regarding the evolution of the SIHH and the new members of that little club. But before this, let's follow up on the report we recently published regarding the Naissance du Montre project, a project done in collaboration between Gröbel-Forsey and the legendary Philippe Dufour, where the goal was to assist the training of a very special student as he would realize from scratch a tourbillon watch using only traditional methods and tooling. Well, this watch was naturally a one-off and has just been sold in Hong Kong by Christie, one of the partners of the project, and the estimate was set between $400,000 and $600,000, and this exceptional timepiece in every way actually reached an astonishing price of $1,450,000. And just to be clear on things, this money will go towards a foundation whose goal is precisely to do what it takes to preserve these fine crafts and the transmission of knowledge. So again, congratulations for this great project, and we'll hopefully be able to do some follow-up on this, as we know that there are going to be some new and next steps coming up in the future. So let's now go over the main product launches of May 2016, and let's start with MB&F, who have just presented a great reinterpretation of the LM1, the evolution of this very watch. And MB&F has done so with the collaboration of a French designer, Alain Silberstein. It's not their first collaboration. We had seen it on the HM2 version, but I won't go too much in the details of this new timepiece that comes in 3 different versions, as we will shortly present you a full review of this watch. We naturally have to talk about the new member in the Richard Mille Rafa Nadal family of watches with the RM35-02. Since a bit more than 6 years, Richard Mille and Rafa Nadal enjoy a strong collaboration, most known for the extreme version of the RM27, the lightest tourbillon watch out there, weighing a mere 20 grams, all included, strap, case and movement, just crazy. So there's been 3 iterations of the RM27, and this will also be the 3rd version of what is called between us the Baby Nadal. So it's a simpler version, a non-tourbillon version, but the big novelty with this one is that it's the first time it comes with an automatic movement. It also comes in their famous NTPT carbon case made out of layers of carbon stuck and compressed one on top of each other at a 45-degree angle. It's quite a spectacular watch, as we can expect from Richard Mille. You might have seen it in our previous reports, but Vacheron Constant Group have also introduced a world time version of the renewed overseas collection, and this watch comes with 3 different finishing when it comes to the color of its dial, in particular the world map found in the center. It's a very nice watch for sure. It's a steel watch, it's sporty and it's elegant. So for cigar aficionados, Zenith have introduced a new El Primero Chronomaster 1969 Cohiba collection, a watch that celebrates the 50 years of the Cuban cigar company, one of the Rolls-Royces in the cigar world, and this watch comes in a 42mm case. We've also seen some novelties at Panerai with the introduction of a new Luminor, the emblematic Italian diving watch with its protective bridge over the crown. And the revolution is that this watch comes in a revised and refined case, especially in terms of its height, not only 10.5mm and the width remaining at 45mm. So the first Luminor Due, that's the new name, comes in a 3-day version with the P4000 caliber and its off-center micro rotor. And in terms of cases, there are 2 versions. There's a polished steel version and a red gold version. But we've also seen some rather exclusive timepiece from Panerai. Listen to this. It's the Radiomir 1940 minute repeater Carillon Tourbillon GMT. As simple as that. So it's Panerai's most complicated watch ever made. It comes in a 49mm case to hold obviously all this fancy gear. And we haven't seen it in person, but really looking forward to do that. On the business side of things, the recent big news has been the acquisition by the Japanese group Citizen of Frederique Constant and its sister brands Alpina and Atelier de Monaco. So Citizen is already owns a few prestigious names in Switzerland, whether on the industrial capability side, but also with brands such as Arnold Son or another brand like Bulova, for instance. So Citizen is clearly reinforcing its presence and influence on the Swiss scene, and I'm pretty sure that they will, with all this in their hands, they will show us really more explicitly their power in the years to come, and it will naturally have some kind of impact on other brands, especially those that are already struggling a little bit. So Frederique Constant was in private hands, and so it's yet another brand that is joining another power group. and the economic context probably precipitated a few things for them. So this lets me bounce on some other business news, as Swiss export figures are still declining, but it's interesting to note that the only segment that is currently increasing concerns watches that are between 500 and 3,000 Swiss francs. So people are naturally still buying watches, but less expensive ones, and when it comes to much cheaper watches, they are probably well hit by connected watches that are in the segment less than 500 Swiss francs. So this downturn will for sure continue, and will follow carefully its impact on the brands and all the various suppliers and players of this industry. But it is to be noted that some people still find the courage to launch some new brands despite all this. So the latest project we've heard is called Gold Gina, and its main particularity is that they want to be as transparent as possible on the cost of their watch and on the provenance of its components, meaning Swiss made. Okay, we've already seen a few projects similar to this on Kickstarter, for instance, but generally it's more for low-end type of watches and not necessarily directly piloted by a Swiss team. So they will try to gain as much input from their followers before committing to some kind of manufacturing. But what I wanted to say is that we've now seen quite a lot of those projects come out, and I love the idea that the end consumer can be directly part of an entrepreneurial project. But let's talk in a few months or years on the long-term success of all these endeavors. And now some follow-up on the SIHH saga, the important annual Geneva watch exhibition of January. As we had mentioned on our previous prime time, now they have opened the door to some new exhibitors in the Carré des Horlogers, the one that is dedicated to independent watch brands. So the 5 new brands are Groeneveld of the Netherlands, very interesting, MCT, Manufacture Contemporaine du Temps, Recense, the original Belgian brand, Romain Jérôme, and Speak Marine. So another big news is that it will now be open to the public, so not throughout the fair, but on the last Friday of the fair, meaning on Friday the 20th of January. For those of you that are interested, well, you can now assist. So this is it for this edition of Prime Time. On our side, we're getting really totally excited for our big watchmaking road trip, as our 6 participants will arrive in Geneva on July the 3rd. Well, we can't wait to live this and share this with all you guys, but hopefully weather will be a little bit different, because it's early June and it is just freezing here in Switzerland. Not very cool. Well, thanks for your time. Have a good day. See you soon.